people blame this particular lady. That's right, the Right Honourable Liz Truss, who of course was British Prime Minister for a matter of 44 days. But now it looks like actually somebody else could be looking for that crown. That's right, we're talking about the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer. And it's all down to this, as ever. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time. How are you? You all right? Leadership is a big thing, isn't it? I don't know about you if you've had a boss previously in your life or whatever, and you've looked at them, and when you're younger, you kind of think, wow, they were really good. When you're older, you reevaluate, don't you? And think, well, actually, I wouldn't have done that, or, you know, you weren't necessarily that sort of impressed with them as you get a little bit older. It's all about the impression, isn't it? And when you think about it, we look at great leaders, don't we? Like, you know, the Right Honourable Sir Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, and I include, of course, our wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth, in this. She led from the front. She's just brilliant. She knew exactly how to handle all situations. Well, currently over here in the United Kingdom, we've got civil unrest, we've got riots every night, looting, battering, fires, migrant explosion, and this particular government have only been in power less than a month. It's an absolute shambles, and it's all down to this man, according to the media. That's right, Sir Keir Starmer, who decided once again to address the nation the other evening, literally flagged by English flags, something that they've absolutely mocked before and mocked the previous government for doing, for being patriotic. Oh yes, they couldn't wait to laugh at them, as couldn't of course Nagam and Chetty from the BBC whenever they stood near flags. So much is the hatred for our national pride from these people. You see how this changes when they're desperate to remain in power. But the bigger problem now is this. According to very well-placed sources at 10 Downing Street, they were absolutely appalled at this particular appearance by Sir Keir Starmer, simply because he incited even more problems across the United Kingdom and basically saying all the wrong things. But just look at this, just look at how many times he has to look down on his nose. There's no empathy, no passion, no compassion. It's just, I'm reading this script that somebody's written for me, and I have to keep checking it to make sure I keep on.
Directly, or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online. Right now, there are attacks happening on a hotel in Rotherham, marauding gangs intent on law-breaking, or worse, windows smashed, fire set ablaze.
Some people might say, well, why didn't he use the auto cue? Well, apparently the auto cue, the person who was going to be operating it at 10 Downing Street because it was a Sunday, wasn't booked. That's the shambles that this particular government are running right now over here. Absolutely monstrous when you think. Now, I've been told that Sir Keir has been urgently required and been requesting some inside media training to make sure he comes across as more sort of warm and more casual. What I think you're looking at is a man who's totally out of his depth, but more importantly, just not a natural communicator. Margaret Thatcher could do it on the doorstep. You know, she just knew how to turn it on and off. Even Winston Churchill, who was a little bit nervous apparently doing radio broadcasts, but came across as warm, you know. There were certain ones that could do it. Tony Blair, very clever at communication, whether you liked his politics or not. Sadly though, for Sir Keir Starmer, a lot of people are saying after this performance, literally the end is nigh. And it can't really all down to be simply the fact that he can't read notes or indeed pick it up from an auto cue. What's more important is this: if he doesn't deliver it soon, as I said, he could suddenly be joining Liz Truss in the bucket of people that really couldn't cut it. And more importantly, everybody's decided they want a fresh Prime Minister once again. I wonder how many we're going to get through in this particular government. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.